Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means it's time for my Survivor recap. So to recap on tonight's episode, we come out after the alley vote last night, and Chrissy is feeling pretty confident, saying that she thinks she's playing a great social game, and I agree with that. I think Chrissy's playing a great social game right now and is in a very good spot. On the Yawa tribe, Cole thinks that tribe should stay 5 strong together, coming with a merge imminent. And basically, Ben says what he's been saying the past few episodes, that he doesn't trust Cole. He's disgusted by his eating habits and doesn't trust him at all. And on Lavu, they're really like a broken tribe. They're out of food, and they're basically, scraping sugar out of this container to try to get some nutrients. But it's all bright at the end of the tunnel because it is merge. Like, I seriously had chills and goosebumps. I mean, that is such a big accomplishment. Congrats to everybody who made the merge. That is a huge accomplishment in the game. And Joe mentions that he feels like he's in a comfortable spot because he has an idol, and you might have an idol in the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're comfortable, because idols could always backfire on you. But everybody's happy because apparently Outback Steakhouse catered the merge feast. Everybody was excited eating steak and getting what they wanted. They had multiple steaks and lava cake. I've never had Outback Steakhouse myself, but we all had a good time. I was surprised at the feast there wasn't some type of idol clue or some type of advantage in the game. Let me read my notes here. Chrissy apparently at the feast doesn't like Joe. Like, she can see right through him, see that he's annoying. Well, he's basically annoying her, and can see that he's a threat. And he confirms her fears because Joe, well, no, that's later in the episode. Chrissy is suspicious that Joe might possibly have an idol. So yeah, he's already found one before and played it well. So they have every reason to be worried. Chrissy, is excited to see Ben again. Them two had a very tight alliance going on, but Ben doesn't want Chrissy to talk strategy at the merge feast. And yeah, definitely don't want to be talking strategy when everybody's sitting right there. I mean, you want to talk private back at camp. So they're building a new camp, and Cole wants to look for an idol, or is surprised that there's not really an idol, but some kind of idol clue. And he couldn't find one, but apparently there's some type of clue if it's to an advantage or an idol in a stack of nails. So no one actually found the advantage, so maybe next week they'll find it. Jessica feels like she's the queen bee there because she's in an alliance of Cole, and she feels like she has all the healers wrapped around her finger. And Ryan then meets back with Devin, and I love their bromance alliance. He mentions how the hustlers and heroes should form an alliance against the healers, because the healers are 5. So he thinks that the hustlers and heroes should combine their original alliance members and try to take out a healer. Which, that does make sense, because you definitely don't want a healer or hustler to go in game-wise, because then the healers have all the numbers, so then they'll just be picking off one by one. Lauren tells Mike that Devin wants to take healers out. So then Mike is Mike then is a little bit paranoid, and then he goes and tells them. So Devin wants Cole and Joe gone, and as much as Ben doesn't trust Cole, he does say that if he has to work with Cole to get ahead in the game, that he will. Jessica tells Cole, apparently Cole wasn't talking to anyone, and he was just eating like these, I don't know what they were like these cinnamon sticks, and Ben told Jessica about it, and then of course Jessica told Cole that Ben was upset that he was eating cinnamon sticks and eating again. So Ben's beyond frustrated with Cole at this point and just wants him gone. He's sick of him eating the camp food, and he thinks that Cole's a very selfish person. And Mike also informs Cole that it's either going to be him or Joe. Like, those are the names that are being thrown around. At the immunity challenge, I gotta say, I loved the immunity challenge. They had to stand on a beam and hold this wheel, and they had to spin a ball in the circle wheel, and they had to balance so they wouldn't drop the ball or fall off. And during so much time, they would move down the balance beam, making it harder to balance. And Ryan was out within 2 seconds, and I felt bad for him. Ryan, I'm really rooting for this season, so I was like, wow, 2 seconds? And even Jeff was kind of giving him a hard time. But it came down to Desi and Ashley, and Desi actually won the immunity challenge, and congrats to Desi for winning immunity. That was a well-deserved immunity win. Ryan then reiterates what he says before and says that he thinks the hustlers and the heroes should be strong and try to take out a healer. And Cole realizes that he's on the bottom, so he wants to try to make amends with Ben, but Ben isn't buying Cole's apology. Ben wants Cole to believe that he accepted his apology, but at the same time, Ben realizes that this could potentially backfire on Cole if Cole realizes that Ben doesn't really accept Cole's apology. Cole then tells Joe that about the Yawa Pact and the fact that their names being thrown out around there, and Joe, is comfortable. He has an idol, so he could potentially be safe at the next tribal. But he has in the past said that he would play it for somebody else, and he almost did with he almost played it for Desi before that at a previous tribal council. So Joe's not afraid to play it for somebody else. Mike actually wants Chrissy gone because during the immunity challenge, Chrissy was showing off her math skills, and I guess people were intimidated by that. So Mike thinks that Chrissy's a big social threat and that she's very smart, and I guess they're intimidated by that, so they want her gone. While Chrissy's alliance is discussing Joe versus Cole. They're discussing the fact if Joe in fact has another idol, what are they going to do if he pulls out an idol? And in fact, if he uses it for himself, what are they going to do if he uses the idol for himself? So they are thinking very strategically, I gotta say. They come up with a scenario that if Joe plays an idol for himself, they would have Cole as a backup. But then they realize, Joe could potentially play the idol for Cole. So then they throw Jessica's name out there because that's Cole's strongest alliance member, so they think, why not get rid of some of Cole's power in the game and try to get rid of his strongest alliance, because that might potentially make him crumble. And Ben is unsure who to vote for going into tribal. He has been with Chrissy since day one and wants to align with her, and get Cole out. But then at the same time, he's made a pact with the switched Yawa tribe, so he's not sure who to go with. At tribal council, they talk about how they got to get a healer out, and how about tonight's vote's not about tonight, but the future. Like, when the merge vote comes, usually this is a very crucial tribal council, because it really shows who's aligning with who and who you can trust in the game. So it's really about who you can go with and who you can go make an alliance with in the game, and who can improve your game and help you go far in the game. And Joe's talking about trusting, and how you might trust somebody tonight and they might say they're with you tonight, but then the next vote they might vote you out. So it, like I said before, it really is about who you can trust right now. And Joe actually does a bold move and shows everybody that he has an idol. So now they know. That gives Chrissy's alliance power, because now they know that he has an idol. So, well, I guess they have power now that knowing he has an idol, but the question is, will he play it for himself, or will he play it for Cole? And it comes up that Joe actually plays the idol for himself, thinking he's in trouble, when in fact Joe wasn't in trouble. So they basically just flushed Joe's idol out. And it actually came down to Chrissy and Jessica, and I like both of these people. Chrissy, I've said multiple recaps how I regretted not having her in my fantasy draft, because I really like her as a person and in and out of the game. I'm really a fan of her social game right now, and in the end it ended up being Jessica sent home, and I was sad to see Jessica go, because I really liked her and she was one of my draft picks. But I really think Jessica really shot herself in the foot by aligning with Cole. I mean, Jessica at times saw that Cole could be annoying and kind of rub people the wrong way, and she thought at times to maybe break away from that alliance to improve her game, and she didn't. And I really think that really cost her I really think that cost her game. So I'm really sad to see Jessica go, but you live and you move on. I definitely think that Chrissy and Ryan made the right decision going forward. Ryan, being the one that come up with that alliance plan, and Chrissy, the one who suggested to get rid of Jessica, because now Cole is really on the bottom, because he's like the number one target out there. And it really shows that from the previews for next week, when there is Cole. Now, the faces weren't clear, but I'm almost positive it was Cole searching for an idol around camp, and he's like tackling Chrissy, while he's digging for an idol, they're trying to make sure Cole doesn't get it, and Ben goes running after them, and he's trying to dig. So it looks like it's going to be complete chaos next week. So Survivor was great as always. I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor tonight. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.